everyone, so today I'm going to be teaching you a move called Under Pressure. You probably saw the trailer, but it looks like this from top down. It looks like this from the back side, and I'll see if I can tilt it up towards you. It looks like this from the front. So I would recommend, because I can't even speak. There are no prerequisites to this move, so this is a basic, so you should be able to learn it without having learned anything else. It would help if you have learned the card spring already. I taught that on our channel, and that can be a prerequisite, but isn't necessary. And also I would recommend using a deck of cards that is fairly broken in, not super broken in, otherwise I think the deck is not even likely to move. And don't use a brand new deck because it is likely to shoot out of your hands. If you know how to do the little pawl spread, that will also help. And if you know how to do a spring, that will help. But with all those things being said, man, I cannot speak. Let's just jump into it. So if you also don't know how to do a thumb fan, that should help just for placement's sake. But to do Under Pressure, I usually get into the grip like this. So I would take my dealer's grip hand, and on the back side, my fingers are going to kind of go this way. So this, don't mirror exactly what I'm doing because it's hard to replicate, or it's hard to show, but I'm going to go like this. So on the other side, it's going to look kind of like a thumb fan, like I'm getting ready to spread the cards out like this, but I'm actually holding it more like this. So you've got your middle and ring finger in the bottom. If you're looking at it face up, it's the bottom left, but technically from this view, it's the bottom right, just on the other side. And they're going to go kind of at a 45-degree angle up, and your thumb's going to go on the back middle side. You want the top right part of the deck here to kind of touch the inside of your index. It's kind of hard to explain. This is how you want. It's actually in the archway of your thumb and index, so you should be holding it like this. So I have this kind of arching down around that way. I'll show you from this side. From this side, this is how you want to be gripping it. Sorry guys, this is a super awkward angle, and I feel like I'm bending my arm in half to show you this. But that's how you hold it. And what you're going to want to do is take your middle, or your index and middle finger, excuse me, I'm not even focused, your index and middle finger, and you're going to bow the cards down. You're going to want almost essentially half of your middle finger on it, on the top right corner, and your index finger right next to it. And what you're going to do is you're going to kind of drag it out. So imagine that there is a loop this way, like a semicircle here on your hand. You're going to go almost forward and this way. So if you're holding the deck like this, this is how it's going to look. It's going to be kind of weird. But it's going to look like that. So you're going to go from here down. So what you're going to do is you're start applying pressure this way, and you want to apply enough pressure to where this is bent, but it's not overly bent over your hand like this. That will make the cards likely to shoot out. And you don't want a little bit of pressure, otherwise the cards are not going to move. So while doing this move, there's probably going to be a lot of experimentation with how much pressure your hands specifically need to apply to this move. So I come over here, and then once you start getting them to move, so you pull and essentially bend them over your hand like this, and then you pull clockwise, counterclockwise if you're a lefty. And then what you can do is, as you continue applying pressure with your middle and your index towards your thumb, the cards will start to slip out. So it's kind of like a spring where you're releasing them, but you're releasing them off of the thumb. In this one, you're going to be releasing them, and the cards are going to be leaving and essentially going like this from leaving your index and going this way. It's kind of a hard move to explain. So please, if you guys have questions about this move afterwards, please feel free to let me know. This might not be the best description of it, but it's going to look like that. So you're going to bend them in an arch, start tilting your hand and pulling this way, kind of like you're doing a fan and a spring at the same time. And then when you're pulling this way around, you're going to get to a point where they're going to start slipping, and then keep crunching the cards together and putting pressure, and the rest of it will follow. If you do it too hard, the cards are likely to shoot this way and like fly out of your hand, and that's okay. Just pick them up and maybe do it over your bed a couple times. But the best way to do it is you can get a little bit going here, but that's not a ton, and you're only at like 45 degrees in, not 90. You almost want to get to a 90 degree where the deck is essentially this way and then continuously flowing towards your hand. And the way you do that is by pulling around even farther, almost underneath, and then continue applying the pressure. You'll notice, and I'll teach it later, in a pressure fan, the way a pressure fan looks is essentially allowing all of it to flip out like that. in under pressure, you are only going out to about here, and then your index finger keeps pushing in and the cards will shoot off of your index finger and go that way, but they're staying together. It's definitely a hard, knacky move to learn, but you pull over here and see as I continue to squeeze the cards down like this, I'm almost squeezing so that they'll come out like that, only once I've pulled them over my index and middle. So essentially you get this weird bend. You want to practice even doing this, bending them over. Also, quick tip, if you start to get a really bent deck, just flip the deck over and start doing under pressure the opposite way, and you should get it pretty straight. That'll help for sure. So if you can see from this side, I am now pulling it to about 90, and they're pushing and going that way. They're going in this direction. So you want to continue squeezing the index and the middle down towards each other, and that should help. Guys, there's not a lot much more to this. If you need help, please leave some comments. I'll go over it one more time very quickly, and then that will be the tutorial. So thumb at the bottom right side, bottom left side if you're lefty, index and middle at the top. Your dealer's grip hand, your index and middle are going to go in the bottom right corner on the other side, bottom left if you're a lefty. Thumb goes to the middle, and you want to start bending the cards over your fingers and pulling clockwise if you're a righty, counterclockwise if you're counterclockwise if you are a lefty. And the cards should start slipping out of your hands like so. And so then as soon as you get to the angle you want, you can stop pulling. And some people just do this, where they'll pull over to a certain side and then continue this cycle. What I do is I kind of let it happen the whole time and pull out really quickly to the place I wanted to go, but that's because I've done it a whole bunch. And so technically you can do it with a little short one here, and there's not really that much space for it to go, but if you pull over to the 90 degrees, the cards have a lot more space to go. And also the amount of pressure you apply will control the pace at which the cards spin, or turn, or rotate, or whatever they're doing. You can hold it as slow as you want to make this go in slow motion, or I can do this and make them go super fast. If you do it too quickly though, and apply too much pressure, they're likely to shoot out of your hands as you lose control. But guys, that is the tutorial for under pressure. Hope you enjoyed it. If you need any tips or think that you want to see a redone version of this, I would love to react to your questions, and I can even make an updated tutorial of this move. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.